Hi, Dawn here from Enzo's, where it's not about the dog.
If you're new to us, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we answer your questions. And today's question is...
What is the best way to potty train a dog? You guys, we're going to do a whole series on this. Today, we're just going to talk about one way. There are numerous ways, but number one, we're going to talk about, because we feel it's so important, is crate training your dog to help with the potty training.
Absolutely. The first point I'd like to make when we talk about crate training so that you can be successful in this type of potty training is the first thing that you need to do is not feel bad that you're keeping your puppy in a crate. They actually enjoy it. They come to think of it as their space to be. It's all about how you use it and how you set it up. And we're going to go over some of those things today in this conversation so that you can get rid of those guilt feelings that I know we all have.
I never felt guilty. I feel like sometimes I'm like, I'm so weird.
You're dead inside?
I am. I never have felt guilty about crating my dogs. My dogs still crate.
Yeah.
Lola now has to crate because she has problems at night. She's almost 18, but I've never really felt guilty about crating a dog. I am a nervous Nelly, and so the thought that while I'm at work, my puppy is in a crate makes me feel safe and secure. Yeah. That my dog is safe at home, Absolutely. Not eating the couch, and I'm going to have a vet bill when I get home. Just safe. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many times we get calls for people who I left my dog out and they ate whatever, and now I'm in the emergency room, mm-hmm. right? So Absolutely. No, it's a real thing, you guys. Good.
Okay, so what kind of crate do I get? There's several different ways you could look at it. What I want your puppy to be in a crate that fits his size. So he should be able to go in, turn around, stand up, not hit his head, be able to make a whole turn in there. And that's the size crate that he should be in to make potty training easy, because he won't go potty. Supposedly the thought process is he won't go potty where he sleeps. So if he's only sleeping there, then that's the space that you need. There's a couple different ways you could do it. If you got a large breed dog and you're going to end up with this great big huge crate and you don't want to spend a fortune buying a different crate every week because your puppy's going to grow, buy the size that he's going to be, full grown, and make sure you get the one with the divider, and you can make those are great. Small. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gosh, we should start. That reminds me, we should start a crate exchange. What a great thing that would be, right? Have a whole different size. Then you exchange it for the next one.
Great idea, Dawn.
That'd save everybody a lot of money.
We'll have tons of storage.
Because we should have so much storage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Skip that idea.
No crate exchange.
We'll come back to that.
Put a pin in it.
So you really do want it to be fairly small. Yeah. Really quite appropriate size. Okay. So that's what size you're going to do. The next idea that you want to think about is, what are you going to put in the crate? Okay. So this is going to vary from dog to dog to dog to dog to dog, mm-hmm. right?
Absolutely.
If I have a dog that eats his bed, I'm not going to feel guilty.
No.
And put a bed in there.
No.
Okay? Because then I got all those vet bills again. Mm-hmm. So it's going to depend on the dog. If you've got the dog that can be in there with his bed, go ahead and put a bed in there. If you've got a dog that can't, literally when Roulette was little, I couldn't put her in her crate with a bed because she would get it like tangled up and all kinds. She just wasn't coordinated. And I was going to be gone 9 hours every day at work. And I knew she might have a little accident. She was pretty good. And so literally what I did was I put a washcloth. She didn't eat her blankets, but she got all tangled up in them. So I would put a washcloth in like the downhill side of the crate. And so if she did have a little accident, it ran downhill and got on the washcloth. And all I had to do was pick up the washcloth and throw it away. So that was my individual dog. Okay. Secret, I could put a bed in her crate and she would never think of peeing on it or eating it. So it really depends on the dog. You're going to have to try it out on a weekend where you can watch him and
When
make
you're
sure
actually
he's
home.
safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about straw? I've had a lot of people, and I've used it in the past. When I first got Abby, I used it for her. And I've used it for some other feral dogs. But what do you think about straw?
I think it's a nice warm substance. It's hollow, so it holds the dog's body heat, and it makes it a nice little nest for them.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. It's
a-
messy.
Yeah.
Again, depends on your house.
It's messy. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, what do you feel about water?
I don't give water while I'm gone.
Good.
I don't, because I know they're going to pee if I give them water, because their bladders aren't strong enough when they're little puppies. Right? Their bladders aren't fully developed until between 8 and 9 months for most dogs. Doesn't mean your dog can't hold it, but it means they're not fully developed. So I can't be like, oh, they peed again. So no, I don't, even if I'm gone 8 hours, because I know up until that point they've drank a lot
had water before.
and they've had water in their food, and then when I get home they'll have it.
Yeah. And that's a good point. If you're worried about your dog not getting enough water, you can always put it in their food. We call it the float method. So they have to drink the water to get their food.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Anyway, if you do have to put water in there, make sure it's in a bowl that can't spill. Yeah. And I literally would just put enough that they can wet their whistle.
Yeah.
And that, Is that
Oh
what
my
you call
gosh,
it?
it's been so long since I've heard that phrase. Wet your whistle.
Wet your whistle. So just a tiny bit. If you feel guilty, again, it's that guilt question.
They need everything.
Yeah. Toys. How do you feel about toys in the crate?
I'm okay if it's especially if it's a puppy who's chewing and it needs to chew. I'm going to give it something. I'm not going to give it anything that they can get a piece off of and choke on, right? So I wouldn't do anything. I personally don't do Kongs or anything like that.
Or stuffies.
Never a stuffy.
No.
Never a stuffy for a puppy, because I would do an antler. That's kind of my go-to. My go-tos have always been antlers, but other people do other things. I don't use anything like bully sticks or anything like that, because then it's stinky and they're going to have to poop again. So I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. Be very cautious about what toys you put in there with them. And again, start it on the weekend when you're home. Watch what they do with that toy to make sure, because you might think it would be okay, and then it's not.
Karen, that is key. Start it when you're home, you guys. Don't all of a sudden, I got a puppy, I'm home with it for a week, and then, it's Monday morning, 6 a.m., and I have to leave for work, and I haven't tried any of these things, and I don't know what works, right? I've spent the last 6 days or 7 days home 24/7 with the dog. I've taken it everywhere with me, and now I'm going to leave on Monday morning. Like, you guys you got to practice when you're home a ton of things. Like, don't just, oh goodness, don't just start on the day that you have to do it, because you will be unsuccessful. And if you have neighbors, they will not like you very well. Right?
Screaming puppy.
Yeah.
So now we talked about what your crate looks like, how you're going to set it up, how you're going to prepare your puppy for your first day at work, what happens when you get home and you're going to take your puppy out of the kennel.
Yeah.
So what I do is I leash it while it's in its kennel. Oh, speaking of leashes, let's talk about a puppy's collar while it's in its kennel.
Oh, good. Yes.
Okay. So again, test this theory out. Put that collar on him, put him in the crate, and see what happens. How many times have I've potty trained a bazillion puppies, and I've learned all of this stuff through trial and error. How many puppies have you seen with their collar stuck in their mouth when they get home?
Yep.
Or
with their paw
through it, or it's stuck on the kennel. So think about that before you leave your dog in the kennel
with a collar on.
Absolutely. So I'm home. I want to take my puppy out because it has to go potty. It's excited to see me. I'm excited to see it. I am the more mature and older one. And so I am going to be very calm when I approach that kennel. I'm not going to be going, oh my God, I so totally missed you. I'm not going to be doing that.
No.
I'm going to have my leash and collar or my slip lead or whatever I'm doing. I'm going to open the kennel, slip lead my dog. I'm going to calmly take it out of the kennel, through the house, out the door. I'm always going to use, remember,
the same door.
Consistency.
Yep.
And then I'm going to take it out to the area where I want it to go potty, and I'm going to give it its command. Make it up. I say go pee, and my husband hates it.
I say go potty.
Yep. So some people say do it. Some people say I don't care. Make up a command, whatever you want to say.
I say go potty, and then I'm like, hurry. 'Cause my dogs sometimes will take their turn. Hurry.
So give it its command and then wait. And then when it does go potty, don't talk to it while it's going potty. Okay? Everybody wants to shove a cookie in that puppy's face and tell it what a good dog it is for going potty. Stand still. Wait for your dog to void its whole bladder, because this is key to future.
Yeah, that's a good one, Karen.
We're going to do future videos on why this might not be working. It clears its whole bladder, then it gets its reward.
Yeah.
Whether it's praise or a cookie.
And don't make too huge of a deal, because I don't want them to. There are a lot of dogs who will hurry up and pee just a little bit to run up and get that reward, right? So yeah, I've never been a huge like celebrating the pee. I've just been like, good, now let's go play. So now the reward is let's go inside, let's play.
Yes. So to summarize, pick the right crate for you and your dog. Yep. Make it the right size. Be very cognizant about what items you put in that crate, whether it's a bed, toys, the dog, how it's dressed, the collar,
whatever.
All that kind of stuff. And then be very calm when you're taking your dog out of that kennel. You can do the...
How many times,
You could do the greeting later.
Yep, absolutely. So thanks, and remember, it's not about the dog.
Don't forget to send us your questions.
Send us your questions. Bye.